What's going on in this third chapter? You know, what's going on to Drac and his own friends?
Well, Dracula's and the whole family is very busy at the hotel, and Mavis is, frustrated that the family can't be together anymore, and so she surprises everybody with a trip, with a vacation, a cruise. But little does she know that actually Dracula is lonely, and everybody around him has somebody but him, and so he is able to find love, or we think he is.
I think it's interesting where the franchise is going on, where it's going to, because at the beginning it was saving the world in a way, very happy kind of adventure, and now we're going straight to human emotions like loneliness, being alone, and needing love, and friends. Do you think it's a way for you to focus in a way in something really universally?
Yeah, I think that's always the most important thing, no matter how elaborate or exaggerated that our images can be. It's really about the core and what's your endpoint, what's your accessibility, and for us it's always been family, so that core relationship between Mavis and Dracula, father-daughter, we always play on it, in the second movie, and then now in the third movie, the roles are completely reversed, where Mavis is now the over-controlling parent and Dracula is like the crazy in love teenager.
For you, in a way, is it two different movies? Drawing storyboarding the movie, and after hearing at the dubbing, hearing at the voices of the talents. What happens for you? It's a different emotion, I think.
Yeah, it's actually more from when we write the script to then when you start to draw it. Because from the words you kind of picture it one way, and then you start to draw it and it's like shooting the movie, right? And all of a sudden you start to realize, like, wow, well, this was really funny written. And when we drew it, it's terrible, and so is it our fault? Is it the translation? So that's where the mystery starts to come in, and that's where the movie is made. Once we get it to work at storyboards, then I know the animation is just going to elevate it to the next level and make it even funnier, and so that's the big translation, is from the words into the pictures.
Do you feel a little bit more of the responsibility from the first one? Your first one, was a known story, was an original story. Now many children grew up with this story, with the franchise. So do you feel a little bit of the pressure of it?
I do, yeah. I think for the third one, you're under the microscope. Did you do it for the right reasons, or are you just trying to make money? And I think because after the second one, I was done, because I thought, like, oh, there's no story that's going to be worth the third one. But then as the third one started to develop, and I went on the cruise, and the story came about organically. And and I was able to actually write the third one. It started to more pressure for its success, but at the same time, I felt it represented more of my pure vision.
What do you think is the reason of the success? Eternal success of drawing, of animation. What's the reason why children all over the world, all over the generation, fall in love for something drawn or for something animated?
It's an interesting question. I think it's that caricature, of taking something that's real, but then you make it silly, and then all children usually somewhat draw, right? And so there's that fascination. They start to realize, oh my God, drawing is a lot harder, I know I was, when I saw somebody who could draw, like I would go to festivals, comic book, conventions, and watch artists draw for 3 hours, just stare at them, because it was so amazing to see that you could master something so well. And, it's the reason why art is still successful. You're just fascinated that somebody could come up with an idea, could draw something like that. And especially with animation, it's the movement also for me, The movement is artistic, and if I could do a silly dance and people laugh at it, that's pretty fantastic.